If you're selling on Amazon, you know how time consuming manual sourcing can be. When you're going through newsletters or you're going onto a store manually on a Tuesday because Boots are selling things for a tenner. We get it, right? Hours spent scrolling through those. This is exactly why I do use Arbisource. Arbisource has got over 550 retailers on its site and it scans those in minutes. You can find profitable products instantly using the Vault feature, or you can scan a store or a category and it will return results in minutes. Or you can wait for the price drop feature where Arbisource will show you exactly which stores have just dropped the prices on massive products that you can then sell on Amazon. Or you can do Amazon to Amazon flips as well, before Keeper gets the data and before you need to have that PhD in reading the charts. It's genuinely saved me so much time and I continue to use it. In the show notes, you can try it for free, no obligation, for 7 days. And if you want to keep on using it, there's a discount code there that will give you 30% off your first month. Give it a go and see how much time you can save. Welcome back to the Goodbye Poor Hello Rich show. Yep, it's Thursday, it's interview day, and we have got a banger for you this week. Yes, we have. Really buzzing for this one. Our sponsors, SellerAmp SaaS, continue to support what we do. Very, very grateful to have them on board. Just so happens, they are the best sourcing analysis software for your Amazon selling journey. You can scan things in a shop. You can look up on the internet. And what will happen is that SellerAmp SaaS will give you all of the detail you need to know and the data to make sure the risk is taken away so you know whether a product is any good as a product you can sell on Amazon and make a bit of profit. Down there in the show notes, there's a link that will give you your first 2 weeks for free. There's also a discount code that will give you 50% off your first month. Essentially, I'm giving you 6 weeks for free. There is nothing to lose by testing that software out. I use it nearly every single day and I really recommend you do. Thank you to them. They are also a big part of the Desi Hamilton Roadshow, which we are trucking on to. We are less than 3 weeks away. I've got a hell of a lot of work to do, but we have got a whole bevy of guests, some of whom are going to be surprises as well, because we've got other guests that I haven't announced that are coming to see you all. Let's rattle through the ones that I can talk about, shall we? We've got Al Colton, the CEO of SellerAmp, who is also sponsoring the show. They're sponsoring the roadshow and we can't wait to have them on board. And Al can talk you exactly through how he went from being an Amazon seller to now being a massive business owner. This is the thing that Amazon selling can provide to you. We have also got Callum Boyd from Arbisource. You would have already heard the Arbisource advert on this show. Arbisource are also sponsoring the show, which enables us to put on a brilliant, brilliant event for you all. From the world of Amazon, we have got Natalie Cromie, the Queen of Bundles. We have got Hayden Davidson, who runs a PPC agency with Natalie. He runs a podcast and he is a big Amazon seller in his own right. We've got Steve Brady. And if you've had anything to do with me over the last 2 years, you know exactly who Steve Brady is. He is a fantastic mentor for beginners. And he is also a guy that has got lots of fingers in pies when it comes to wholesale infrastructure. From the world of TikTok, we have got Stacey Small, we have got Chris Stewart, we have got Gus McKay, we have got Jenna Marie, and we have got Ron Reed. Five, count them, the biggest TikTok affiliates on the platform who are coming to share their journeys and tell you how you can get better at TikTok Shop. From the world of confidence and manifestation, we've got Lydia Killian, who played a massive part in overcoming my imposter syndrome and helping me become the person that I am with the manifestation techniques, the affirmations and the EFT tapping. We've also got Amy Baldwin, the hustle mama, the lady who's literally grown to over 50,000 followers, doing massive things in the world of Vinted and also manifestation as well. Then we've got business owners like Al and Callum who are going to form a lot of the strategic e-commerce side of things. We've got Carl Southwell, who is a business startup specialist who formerly worked with Chelsea Football Club, Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club, and is also one of my best mates. And we have got Luke Colwell, who could feasibly sit on every single one of those panels because the guy he's my business partner, he is my e-commerce brother, and there is a lot that Luke can offer you as well. And we've got my wife, Claire, who can tell you exactly what it takes to put up with this geezer. Look, it's going to be a banging show. We are trucking on down to the 21st of February. If you haven't got tickets, We're going to figure out a way that there's going to be parts of the show that will be available to you because, of course, we are going to have bells and whistles with video cameras, microphones, drones and all sorts going on in there as well. I can't wait to see you there. Right, on to the show. We mentioned Chris Stewart as one of the TikTok affiliates that's going to be there offering his advice. Well, it just so happens he only lives up the road. And it just so happens a couple of weeks ago, we met up on a Friday, had a few beers, booked a podcast studio, and then just talked about his journey for the best part of an hour. Now, Chris is such a relatable guy. He's such a good guy. And he's a guy that also understands the value in giving out before you get back. And what we've done is that we've literally laid it all out, warts and all. How he went from the person he was to the person he is now. All of that in between, how we met, what sort of work we do together and the things that we're proud of. This first half is mostly about Chris's journey and that one video. If you know anything about Chris, Chris is the guy that had one video. His first video on a brand new account that is already sitting at over 15.7 million views. We talk about how he came to make that post and his feelings as it started popping off. And then what he's done to kick on. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll leave it be there. I'll let you guys have a little listen and I'll see you on the other side. Roll them. Chris, mate, welcome on the show. I love doing these face-to-face ones. I reckon you're number 3, I think, so far. Really, really glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me, mate. Really appreciate the time.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Right, what I want to do, I want to take you right back. We're not going to talk about the viral post yet, right? We want to go back because I know there was a lot of noise that happened before the viral post went.
Just and some.
So talk me through how you got started, when you first found out about this affiliate thing, and then take me through to where you are now.
Well, I'll start off by saying I have to apologise to my missus because I was one of these people that always moaned about people on TikTok. What are you doing? Why are you doing silly dances? Why are you doing that? Why are you watching that idiot on there? For like 3 years I watched her watching things and just thought, what is that all about? And then one night I decided to download TikTok. Sat on TikTok for about 3 weeks just watching loads of random funny reels, and then I just saw this geezer pop up. No idea who he was. I thought, who's this fella on here? Want to earn £1,000 a week? You want to do this? You want to do that? Come and join me, do this Zoom call with me, and I'll change your life. And I thought, I'm at a point now where I'm getting to the age where I need to either decide to change my life or just live the boring, mediocre life that I've lived. No disrespect to anybody of my family or friends.
Who don't want £1,000 a week? Right?
So obviously he hooked me in, you know. Young lad as well. Young lads don't really hook me in. I think to myself, yeah, you're a chancer.
We're talking about Jack, by the way.
We are talking about Jack, yeah. I kind of assumed that we'd talk about him somewhere down the line.
Right. So, and he's important. Very important
person now for me. So I spent £20 on a random product. It was a packet of Lion's Mane. Got it in the post. Didn't really think I was going to do much with it. I was told to make a few videos a day for 90 days. At the time it sounded easy. Yeah, I can do that. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Seriously, the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've done some hard things, Des, right? But I did it. There was a few days where I missed out because it was a struggle mentally, like hard work.
Mate, 90 days is a long time.
It's 3 months.
Yeah.
That's not like a couple of weeks. 3 months of your life. When you've got a brand new baby as well. My little boy is 3 now, so he would have been just under 2.
Wow.
Was poorly pretty much for the first 2 years of his life as well, so it was tough. Making 3 videos a day, every day for 90 days was graft, mate. And I run a business as well, you know. It's not like this isn't my job. I did it. Carried on doing it. Didn't make any sales whatsoever. Don't know why I carried on. Maybe because this young lad that I saw on a TikTok hooked me in so well that I thought, well, maybe if I just trust the process, it'll work one day. And it didn't. It didn't work for me. I had a page that wasn't making any sales, I wasn't getting any views, I was trying so hard, it didn't do anything, and I was going to give up, totally going to give up.
Yeah.
Spoke to my wife one night, I said, look, it's causing rifts in the family, I'm not spending enough time with my son, I'm not spending enough time on you, it's tough. I actually spoke to Jack on a Zoom call. We had a Zoom call at the end of one. I said to him, can I borrow you for 5 minutes at the end of the Zoom call? I'm done. I'd had a couple of pages, there's a bit more of a story to it, but we'd be here all night, all afternoon if I told you the full story. But at the end of the Zoom call I said, look mate, I'm really sorry, but I appreciate everything you've done for us. I know I do believe in the process, but for me it's just too tough. He basically said to me, please don't go. your content's decent. We don't know why your page isn't working. Maybe start a new page. And at the time, there was a way that you could start a new page up instantly, get 1,000 followers, and you could start making money straight away. So I did it. I opened up the new page, and I posted. It's funny, like, it's just weird. Like, I was playing golf on a Friday. I took the day off from work, and it was the first video I'd ever posted on this page. I sat in the bathroom. It took me 15 minutes to make. I thought nothing of it. I thought I'll post this. I might get 300 views. I'll go and play golf and enjoy my afternoon.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Go on.
History. Well, 15.7 million views later. And an awful lot of money. I won't swear. I would normally swear. That is my character to swear, but I'm not going to because
family show.
The family show, yeah. Absolutely.
It's not. You can swear if you want.
Well, I made a fuckload of money, and it wasn't. I didn't even know that I'd got the views or anything. I was playing golf. There was no signal on a golf course.
Right.
And if it wasn't for that young lad that I trusted in so much messaging me and going, Jesus Christ, bruv, what's going on? You know, then I would not have known until I got home that night. So, and it wasn't instant as well. I only got a couple of 100,000 views on that. I mean, a couple of 100,000 views to me at the time was a hell of a lot of views.
Yeah. Well, it's to anyone, isn't it? It is to anyone.
Yeah, but it was just like the following day, the next day, just kept going up and up and up. And I was looking at the commission.
So that one day you're on the golf course, and I want to clear this up, right? There's perfect signal on the golf course. There's shocking signal in the deep rough, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I'm an 18 handicapper, so I spend quite a lot of time in the rough.
Right. I just wanted to clear that up. What were your results when you were on the golf course and you noticed things were different?
Well, I'd literally, when I finally got some internet connection, I'd made about £35 in commission. That might not seem a lot to you, but for someone that's been grafting for like 6 months and not made a single bean, maybe like £200 in 6 months, that's a lot of money on one video.
Absolutely right. But hang on, how much commission per product here?
Oh, so every time I made a sale, I think I was making like £1.50 or something like that.
Right, so 35 quid is a big deal.
I hadn't made a massive amount of sales, but the views had creeped up quite quickly, and for me it was all about the views really to start with, because I wasn't getting the views and I wasn't getting the sales. But for me, I knew I had to get the views to make sales.
Yeah.
So it really was the views. And then I got home and I couldn't wait to get home. I wanted to leave the golf course to get home and tell Sam, like my missus. The one that had been there every single night of the week, supporting me and telling me to carry on. I got home and I was buzzing, like absolutely buzzing, mate. I was like out of my skin buzzing, you know, like just beyond belief. And it was only because I made about £35 commission. So I was like, hang on a minute, I've only made £35 commission. And the funniest thing was, I was going live that night. It was one of my first ever lives, and I'm one of these people that has to go all in. If I'm going to go live, I have to build a studio. I have to do like I want to have the best opportunity to do the best that I can.
Yeah.
So I watched everybody else go live, gained loads of tips from everybody, and I basically bought a shed, put it in my garden, and boarded it all out, soundproofed it all, made it look like a studio, even though it was a 6 foot by 4 foot shed. Went live, and then I turned my live off, expecting to do the usual, like the 2 nights I'd done beforehand, to make like £20 commission or something. I'd done £500 commission on my live, and I was like,
that same night.
I screamed, mate. I left my shed into my back garden and screamed in the garden. It was 11 o'clock at night. So someone's obviously thinking someone's either been murdered on my estate, or someone's won the lottery. Well, I felt like I'd won the lottery.
Oh my God.
I've run in the house. I was like, babe, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, look. I just showed him my commission. I didn't realise that wasn't from my live. I thought it was from my live.
Yeah.
It's from the video.
Ah, right.
So I'd made £530 commission. You know, and I was like, oh my God, and I looked at the views and it was up to like 450,000 views or something like that. Which was just madness, but real, like, total shock. And I'm not a very emotional character, but I'll be totally honest, I shed a little tear on the sofa.
Bloody hell, I'm not surprised.
You know, because all the graft, all the hard work that I've gone through for so many months, all of a sudden it paid off. All those negative thoughts from so many people. All those negative comments, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Well, just concentrate on your business that you've got to do on your day. Why would you want to be on TikTok? You're not going to do nothing. That was the thing that drove me forward, as well as my missus' help.
Yeah.
And then when I'd got that commission, it just felt like a massive relief, like of emotion. Just, I've done it. I finally actually achieved it. You know, what I was adamant that I was going to achieve, and then nearly gave up. And I think that's what the hardest thing for me to understand was, that I nearly gave in myself. And if it wasn't for Jack asking me to just stick with it, I would have given up. And we sat down on the sofa for like 15 minutes and we were just chatting. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of you, my missus, and blah, blah, blah. And then she went, what have you made now? And I looked and I've made 850 quid. So it'd gone up by like 250 pounds, nearly £300, exactly £300 in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Well, that was when I said to her, I've got to go to bed, because if I don't go to bed now, there's no way I'm going to go to sleep.
How did you sleep?
Honestly, I didn't. But I purposely left my phone on the floor. I usually sleep with my phone on my bedside table. I thought if I leave it on the bedside table, I'm not sleeping all night. So I left it on the floor. We woke up in the morning, and first thing she was like, "What have you done now? What have you done now?" And I looked, and I was like, "It's crazy." Obviously, I'm not one to talk about. I don't really like talking about money, so I'm finding this quite difficult. But
no, and I've got to say this. I know Chris, and Chris isn't. You're not the guy that talks about money.
No.
You're not. I know one of my questions. I've gone out. I'm not going to ask you about how much money you've made. So, mate, you do whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I'll say this one last bit, but because this is an important turning point for me and Sam. We went downstairs, and the first thing Sam said to me is, "Ring my mum and dad," because Mum was always supportive. Sorry if you're going to listen to this, Jeff, but he's old school, you know?
Yeah,
you make money by grafting.
Yeah.
For me, TikTok is a graft, but people don't see it as a graft. When I say I've worked really hard for what I've achieved on TikTok, people go, that's not hard work, you're just posting a couple of videos.
Yes.
But it is extremely hard work, really extremely hard work. It's very mentally draining. So I rung them. I didn't want to ring them because, again, it's not like me to be big-headed and that, but she was adamant that I had to do it just to let them know that all that hard work and perseverance does pay off.
Yeah.
She rang her mum. She said, Mum, is Dad with you? She was like, yeah, we're in bed. She was like, right, Chris wants to talk to you. And again, really uncomfortable. Oh, morning, Linda, you're right. Yeah, what's going on? Well, you know that video I posted yesterday? Well, I've made 1,400 quid off that so far.
Oh.
What? And I heard the father-in-law in the background going, do what? What do you mean 1,400 quid off that video? And it was automatic, like a turning point.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, there is something to this. He's actually been grafting, and he's actually now making some money out of it. So it's really nice to get that recognition from them.
Yeah.
Because obviously you want your wife's family to acknowledge the fact that you're trying to do better for your wife. You know. And I felt that was a real turning point in my relationship with my in-laws. Probably shouldn't have said that, to be fair. But maybe this is becoming too open already.
Mate, I'm doing the edit. It's fine. You're fine. You're fine.
So yeah, it was that point, and then that is the last you're going to hear about figures now. But that morning, I had a golf competition. It was our 30th anniversary at the golf club, and at my golf course, you don't get any connection at all day. So obviously, I went at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Was there all day. We had a big party afterwards. My wife came along. My sister-in-law came along because my brother plays with us. And my sister-in-law turned up. She went, "Oh, congratulations!" I went, "What are you talking about?" She went, "You've joined the Million Club." I was like, "What do you mean the Million Club?" She went, "You got 1 million views on your video." Shut up. All right, she went, "No, seriously, you got 1 million views." I was like, "Oh my god!" Well, and all I'm thinking is, I might make some money here. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to go and have a look. So I walked about 1.5 miles away from the golf course. While my missus was getting picked up by my brother as well. So she turned up. I wasn't even at the golf course. I went up there and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh my god. Like, it had gone up considerably.
Really?
Considerably. In just 500,000 views as well.
Wow.
So then, obviously the next...
Organic?
Just organic. I had no ad spend on there. There was no ad spend on there whatsoever to start with. It was the weekend, you know.
Right.
So it wasn't until Monday, really, when they were going to go, oh, we need to put some ad spend on this one.
Yeah, right.
And when they did put ad spend on it, actually slowed the video down, so they took it back off again, and then it skyrocketed again. So
wow.
That kind of made me feel good about myself, that I'd done it all organically as well, you know. But yeah, and then the rest is history. My TikTok account is now obviously doing very well, and TikTok think that I've got some value, which is nice.
Yeah.
Other people think I've got value, which is really nice.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who TikTok is. It's just his computer. So to get
That's
value
it.
from actual human beings is quite a satisfying feeling.
Yeah. Mate, 100%. Oh, buzzing for you. What a story. I want to go back, right, and I want to pick out the bones from what happened, from you starting to that happening. Because there's an awful lot that happened before that made you want to quit. How long are we talking? How long was it from you starting to that post popping off?
So I started, I think it was the end of November 2023, if I can remember. I'm pretty sure it was the end of November. That video I posted was the 26th of July last year, so it was 8 months.
8 months.
8 months.
And how much had you made in the meantime?
Literally about £200.
Wow.
I'd probably spent about 400.
Jesus. And you were posting multiple times a day?
Yeah, so for the first
months.
3 months I was posting 3 a day all the time, like guaranteed. And then after that I started getting a little bit sporadic. I was like posting 1, maybe 2 a day because it was
just on Lions Mane?
No, so the first 3 months was Lions Mane. And then I started posting other stuff. And it was really just to keeping the algorithm warmed up because I didn't really want to do it anymore. It was just so demoralising.
Yeah.
But I genuinely believed, I'm not a massive believer in myself. I've never really gone through life thinking I can achieve, I can do something here.
Yeah.
But I genuinely believed that the hype was actually a real hype. I didn't think it was just this rubbish load of information that you get fed by creator after creator after creator on TikTok. Everyone's trying to tell you how amazing it is. I genuinely believed it. And I thought, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a TV presenter because I was a bit of an idiot at school. So I kind of felt like, hang on a minute, this is maybe like a way of me getting my funny personality out onto TikTok.
Yeah.
And just allowing myself to just live that little bit of life that I never lived.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I persevered with it a little bit because it was helping me out.
No, I believe it.
In a certain way.
And Jack's a motivating character, right?
Oh, mate, you done a Zoom call with him, right?
You feel like you can take on the world, don't you?
Honestly, mate, I've never met a geezer like him.
No.
Never in my life.
No.
Never. There's nobody that can conduct a Zoom call with 200 people in there, all looking like this at the start, and then all like that.
I know.
Like, okay, we love you, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a skill that I've never seen before.
Honestly, you end the call and you think you can take on the world.
Totally.
Amazing. So while you're doing this, you're not getting the results you wanted to get. You're persevering. We're talking 8 months. How are other people doing in your cohort at the time?
Oh, mate, there's people smashing it.
Yeah.
We had people making like £1,000 a week within the first 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And what's that doing to you?
Killing me. Fucking killing me, mate. Absolutely killing me. Because I like to see results, you know, like we all do. Everyone wants to see a result. Why would you want to watch someone else making £1,000 a week when you're making 50p a week?
Yeah. For me, hands down, that's the hardest thing for TikTok affiliates.
Yeah.
Hands down. You know the process works, but it's not working for you. And you see everyone else doing it, you go, oh, yeah, good for you. Yeah, nice. And you're fucking fuming.
Mate, I'll go back to that. I mentioned her name a minute ago. If it wasn't for my missus, not a chance I'd be sitting here now.
Yeah.
Not a chance. I'd probably still be at work now.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's what's it, about 4 o'clock on a Friday?
Yeah.
I'd probably still be up a ladder somewhere doing something, grafting till 5:30 at night. Now I don't have to do that. I can finish work whenever I want.
Yeah.
I've got that extra income and I can leave the boys at work.
That's it, mate. That's amazing. That's amazing. But that's currently what my Claire's going through right now, is that she's seeing other people do well, and she's saying to people, what's wrong with my content? And the answer is, not much. And it just hasn't fallen for her that way. But she knows the process is real. I mean, Jesus Christ, look how much we're wrapped up in it, you know what I mean? She's got no choice whether she wants to or not.
Yeah, fair point, yeah. You need her just as much as she needs you.
I do. Yeah. But it's going to happen, whether it's a viral post or whether it's just consistent growth. But I think that is the bit that needs to be hammered home, because everything we see, join TikTok shop and you're going to earn £1,000 a week and you'll do it in 6 weeks. You won't. Well, you might, but it'll be once, and then you go back down to square one and you've got to slowly build it up, and it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where you got to feel sorry for people that unfortunately get drawn in by the process.
Yeah.
You know, because there are a lot of idiots out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we speak about them all the time. You know? There are a lot of idiots out there that are just selling something. You know, they're just selling themselves, but they're not actually selling a system or a product that is actually working, that is helping people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing. There are so many people out there so self-centered and just want to achieve what they want to achieve. They'll do anything in the process to just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do need a very good support network around you. It's as simple as that. You need also, though, you do need the people that disagree with what you're doing, and the people that don't want you to achieve, and the people that don't think you're going to achieve anything on TikTok because it's a silly platform and it's run by children, and you need all of that, because if you don't, you haven't got that one on either side of your shoulder, you know? You haven't got that Jekyll and Hyde.
You're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough. It is tough at the time, but when you finally actually start making money, you realise that horrible person on your shoulder is actually more important than the good person.
Yeah.
Unless you're obviously the person that just needs the nice comments all the time.
Yeah.
But for me, I need people to be negative towards me because it makes me want to be better than what I am. You know.
You know what, mate? I can't disagree with that. And that resonates so much. And I never talk about that. I never talk about the people that are saying you can't do it. Because everything that I do is always optimistic and then like look what I can do, look what I can do. But there are so many times where Claire and I have said to each other, we're just gonna have to show them. And that's such a driving thing.
Yeah.
I actually had therapy at one point. Well, I had therapy for all sorts of sort of self-limiting beliefs. But one of the biggest things comes back to people of an older generation, whether that's my parents, my in-laws, all of the people that I've got a big old family, my aunties and uncles, they all would say, "Oh, we don't get what you're doing. We don't get what you're doing," and it used to piss me off. And I would say to my therapist, "What can I do?" She's like, "Well, nothing. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. But you can try."
Yeah.
So I remember I got my whiteboard and I wrote everything down. I say, like, I do this. This is what this is. This earns me this much. I do this. This is what this is. This earns me this much. I literally spent half hour with charts, pictures, everything. I literally finished, and they went, "Yeah, no, we don't get it."
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what the sad thing is, though, Des? We're nearly that generation.
I know.
If we didn't do it now, we would have been that generation in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing about it.
I
That's
don't-
kind of why I wanted to do it, because I thought, like, if I don't do it now, then I'm going to be that person. I've got a 20 and a 21, 21 to 21 on Sunday, my son.
Wow.
I've got a 21-year-old and a 20, he's nearly 23 now. And I would have been that person. What are you doing on there?
Yeah.
Why bother doing that? Go and learn carpentry or something. I mean, they are both carpenters, but go and get a
That's
trade.
good trade. That's
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, go and get a trade. Don't do social media. What are you going to gain out of that?
Yeah.
But I'll be totally honest with you, mate. It ain't even the money that I've gained out of it. That's not the way I look at it. It's what I've gained otherwise than just the money.
I think that's it. One of the things that I know you're the same as me. We're so proud of the confidence we've put in people.
Totally. And let's not forget ourselves, Des.
Yeah.
You know, we are. Thankfully that I've met some fantastic people, and without blowing your trumpet, you are one of them, that actually genuinely want to make a difference to people's lives. And I've always, funny enough, I spoke to Jenna the other day, who's one of our friends. I spoke to Jenna the other day on one of the group chats that we're on, and I said to her that this whole situation has made me feel so different about everything. So before, I've run loads of marathons. I've run London marathons and Brighton marathons, and I've done loads of work for charity, but it's all been for self-gratification.
Of course it is.
I didn't realise that at the time. I was doing it for charities and making money, and everyone was going, "Well done, Chris. Oh, you've done such a great job." I thought it was because I was doing it for the charities. It was never that. It was because I wanted people to give me gratitude. You're amazing. What you're doing is fantastic. Now I've actually gained a different perspective on life. I actually want to do things because I want to do them for other people. And that's what I've got from TikTok. It's given me so much more confidence in myself. Like, I would never be able to sit here, mate. If I tried to sit here a year ago, I would have gone, "All right, Des, nice to meet you." Genuinely, 100%, that would have been me. I couldn't even do my speech at my wedding. I couldn't even conduct my speech at my wedding. You know, and now I'm sitting here in a podcast studio with Des Hamilton, you know, and I'm talking, and I don't feel like I'm nervous or out of place doing it. It's amazing what it's done for me.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm eternally grateful for. Is what it's done for me as a person and a character, rather than the money side of things.
Yeah. That needs to be said, mate. That needs to be said. Look at the people that we're helping, and we do all of these calls a week. You and I, we do the Friday call, right? This is the thing.
The best call.
It's the best call.
Yeah.
It's the best call. So at the end of the week, for those that don't know, if you don't know, have a word with yourself, will you, for God's sake. But what we do is we basically have a call on a Friday. It's 6 o'clock. It's called the Friday Club, and we don't talk TikTok, do we?
No.
But the atmosphere in that call gets better week on week on week, because everybody's confidence is up and up and up. Beforehand, it was me and you talking. Someone would type a question. Now, can't shut them up.
No, exactly. We don't even get a word in edgeways anymore, do we?
We don't. And it's amazing. And I said this, I've got this show on the 21st of February. That crowd is going to be buzzing, electric, because they're all massive characters.
Yeah.
And somehow, mate, we've dialed their confidence up. And if I don't come in and there's not a cheer or a shout or some ovation, I'm going out and I'm coming back again.
I've already had a chat with them, mate. There's not going to be a cheer. I've just toned them down a little bit.
I walked into this. Flew by, didn't it? Honestly, I did the edit on that one myself, and it flew by. I love that. Honestly, I really do. You can tell. I mean, we'd had a couple of drinks before we went in there, so we were already feeling loose. And we did go out afterwards, and we got a bit looser. But it was a really, really lovely chat. It was one of those, and you'll see this next week, that we literally just had a chat, and then someone knocked on the door and went, right, your time's up, you've been an hour. Like, ooh, have we? What I love about Chris is that it's not about the numbers for him. And we talk about this a lot, don't we? The money you make is just one metric. And Chris doesn't like to talk about that metric, which is entirely fine. That's his prerogative. And he's almost humbled by the money that he's making. And he doesn't want to brag about it because he knows how that might make other people feel. And that says a lot about the guy. But what he does do is talk about the views, and he talks about his emotions, and he talks about the things that drive him. And it's quite clear that he had just had enough of life. He had had enough of being up a ladder in the cold, on the tools. And he found this way that he knew would work, and he watched other people come and go, making thousands. His account, violations, close that one happened, close that one happened, close that one. He nearly threw in the towel, and it took a call with Jack. And this is what we say about Jack. Jack is genuinely the guy that you speak to if you want to rocket up your ass. He's the guy that you put the phone down and feel like you can take on the world. That's not an exaggeration. He's got that ability. And what he said to Chris was blah, 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 blah. And it worked. And it took off. And it was 8 months in the mire. Think about it. For the TikTok affiliates we've been training out since October, they're now 5 months in. And they're doing much, much better than Chris was during that phase. And they had a world of more products. When you feel like quitting, when you feel like giving up, stick this podcast back on. And then see what Chris is doing. Because he is flying at the moment. And he doesn't like to talk about it. But I bloody will. He's flying. And it's a pleasure to actually work with him and sit down with him. But what we'll do, we'll pause it there. And we'll come back next week and we'll listen to the second half. Because by then, we're only 2 weeks out from the Bleeding Road show. Woo-hoo! Look, down in my show notes, that's where you can find Chris. That's where you can find the discounts that I've spoken about and the links of the software that support the show and support the road show. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have yourselves a lovely week. Take care. Ta-da.